play. These three words, they're the ones that I live by. With bug eyes, there's nothing that he can't find. We all fly, don't give Buckman the stink eye. Do or die, Schmuel Buckman's an old guy. Schmuel rock and roll, Schmuel rock and roll. Go toe to toe with Buckman, he will eat your freaking soul, no doubt. It's Schmuel rock and roll, Schmuel rock and roll, Schmuel rock and roll. We get buck with Buckman, we know you're up to something.
Yo, Schmuel, what's going on, kids? I was convinced to come back on. So, we'll see what goes on here tonight. Karmic is sitting at a respectable 5 digressions so far. Feels like another barn burner, folks. Wow. Wow. Gav House. Nick from Fort Wayne sent me. He does not like you, apparently. Not at all. Genta loves. Hey, Genta. Genta was not able to make it earlier today, so that's why we're back on. Actually, what happened is, I got a long drive tonight, and I have to wait for traffic to clear. That's number one. Number two, we did an early show, so there was that. And then OG Mumbling Nick wanted to come on, and I wanted to have him on. And I asked Panhandler to come on. But more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, our good friend Dave Sarah will be joining us. And tell me if my mic volume is low, because I will crank it up a bit. It actually might be cranked up as far as it goes. This mic's been a little hot, so I lowered it down. All right, but I have it all the way up now, so you cats let me know. I'm also sitting a little bit thing. Gentle Loves can only stay for another 15 minutes. Got to get back to work. Genta, I can't stay that long either, so we'll use you to keep this thing going. All right, so we got our Cerberterp.gg/Buckman. If you feel like donating, that would be awesome. And we also super chats, memberships are $1.99. I remember I was going to change them on December 31st, but haven't done it. And I'm also excited because I got up to, I hit 1,000 subscribers. And so here I am. I haven't changed anything, haven't done anything, hasn't meant anything, but it's really a cool number. Cigarette Jones, stop your whining. Our boy is on his way in. Hey, but Cigarette Jones, tell me, how is my sound? Good, bad, indifferent? Coach Muttering J. Schmuel, Carmi just blocked me. Carmi's had me blocked for so long. It's amazing. And then he unblocked me for like 5 minutes, and I put in a chat, and it literally just said something like, glad to see you, or something like that, and he immediately blocked me. All right. Our mic volume is down. Breg, 8725 for $1.99. Thank you, Breg. You look like old Robin Yacht. Baseball player, right? Am I right? Nick, I'll find you. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Very funny. So this is one of those, which I know drives Chow crazy. Turn on the computer and start talking streams. So I don't have a little thing. You're a little high on the end. I just turned it down. Jesus Christ, still kind of high. All right, let's do this. See, you know what happened, kids? I touched it. And that's the reason why there's a problem. So we'll pull it down, and I think that should solve the problem. So Dave ranks above Panhandler. 100%. Dave Sarah got this fucking show started. If it weren't for him, this wouldn't have gone. I really do know why the audio is bad, but we can fix it. So we have our microphone. See our microphone? Is that better? Okay, so this is our microphone. This is our keyboard. We had the keyboard in front of the microphone. We'll put it behind the microphone. And we are using tonight special, our super duper high tech, very expensive mic stand. Ta-da! These are 18th anniversary tambourines, and I quite like them. So there we go. And so there we go. All right, I think we're okay with that. The orange puppet I had on here, I think before he was the orange puppet. I like to break in new guys. I'm always really happy with new people coming on stream. So yeah, I had him on a while ago, and he has had for about 2 weeks an offer to come on. So that's it. Not Victoria. No, Victoria, I'm not using a filter. As a matter of fact, the light is better. I look better here than I did during the day. And the other thing, during the day, I realized I had all of the LED lights on, and they just look horrible. Horrible. I'm like a woman at Hackamania. Please don't take my picture like that. So there we go. You look great. Thank you. See me in person. I actually look better in person than I do on camera. I've never really quite understood it, but my wife is pretty in any set of circumstances, but the camera really, really loves her. And I don't think I look horrible in person. I mean, you guys can tell me that. I don't think the camera looks, I don't think I look horrible in person, but I will tell you that on camera, it's a goddamn nightmare. B. Greg, 8725 for $1.99. Thank you. I met Gorman Thomas. Wow. Gorman Thomas. And I just had a brain fart. I was going to tell you who I met. And I can't remember his name. He was an outfielder for the Mets, got traded, and he was an outfielder for the Giants for a long time. Black gentleman, beefy as fuck. Timothy, maybe, something like that. Who knows? Schmuel, people like you for your person, for the personality, apparently. Yeah, I know. We're definitely not here for the looks. And look at this. One NJ Ranger. I saw today on the Twitter that we are not allowed to say anything bad about NJ Ranger. And but I want to get into that a little bit, not about NJ Ranger, but about that individual. B. Greg, 8725. Dude, I do not know how the hell you knew that, but correct. Kevin Mitchell, met him in his rookie year. It was like 86. I was a season ticket holder, and what do you call it? We were like, had a lunch or something, one of those stupid things they do for ticket holders. And, but I only had like the weekend. I don't even remember what it was, but in any event, I had seats in the mezzanine, and, Mitchell was the guy that they sent up, because they sent up 2 ball players. And I will say he was actually pretty fucking cool. Like, I can't remember who the other guy was, but Kevin Mitchell was like talking to people. He was like enjoying himself to the point where they actually like had to escort him away. Um, like he was having fun. He didn't want to leave. There were a number of very attractive women there. I don't know that that had anything to do with it. And it was a long time ago. So I was significantly younger and better looking. Let me go here. I want to see if I can. Twitter has been giving me some shit. I want to pop it up a little bit. I don't know if I can find what I'm looking for, but Dabbling Down Under or Dabbling Doofus, I don't remember which one. Put up the some of the Patrick Tomlinson stuff this afternoon after we got off. So I kind of wanted to take a look at that. But I see Bob Levy tweeted here. Bob and I just had a conversation a few minutes ago. And Stuttering John, you said, I called Artie Fletcher crying because he made fun of me. Okay, liar fraud. 20,000 to you if I made that call or even talked to him. Put up your 20 grand or you're a fraud. Someone send this to him. I'll wait. I knew that was why the conversation. I knew Artie Fletcher. So at the time that I was doing open mic, Artie Fletcher was performing in New York, and he had to deal with Goldschlager. And I remember it because it's Goldschlager, and like, who drinks that shit? Anyway, he had to deal with Goldschlager, and he used to go to these different clubs. One of them was like the Ye Old Triple Inn. It was a bar, and he would have stuff like that. And they would bring along morons like me because Artie was the only guy that was getting paid. So you would go and you would do these things, and that's back when I was like, again, significantly much younger, and just thrilled. Like, wow, they asked me to come here. This is amazing. And I could have been invisible to Artie Fletcher. The guy didn't. Most of the time when we did stuff, the people would say, the other comedians, the professional comedians, would like say hello to you at least, or smile, or shake your hand, something. Or if you were heading up on stage, they'd give you like a little positive reinforcement. Not this guy. This guy was like, he was king shit. And it's interesting because like I'm brand new. I don't know anybody. I don't know any comedians. I don't know any of these things. And he treated us like shit, and you just assumed that was what was going to happen. And it was funny because after that I learned that they didn't. The only person that ever he didn't treat me like shit. It was Rich Voss, and he just fucking ignored me. But I deserved to be ignored. I was really, really bad. I got up on stage, mumble mouth, and I got intimidated by the audience. And so there we go with that. Sarah, get your ass in here, please, and get out of the chat. And Gentle Loves, it happens. It does. It does happen. Gav House. My ex-wife was there. I could give you her number and she could call you. It was at the Hoboken Clam Broth House. Is that what it's called? The Hoboken Clam Broth House? Yeah, they had like a comedy room on the second floor. And that's where that happened. And I think, and I don't know this for sure, but I think the black guy who was the other sort of headlining comedian was Keith Robinson. But I don't know because I don't remember his name. And then I saw him years later and I was like, oh, I think that's That's the guy. B. Greg 8725. I drink 8% IPAs. Think I can outdrink Husey. Excellent question. I'm gonna go no. And Lady KB is here, and Lady KB. Wait, I gotta put that up, Diablo. Lady KB was with us, me, all weekend, and I would say that Husey can pack that stuff away. All right, we've got OG is here. He'll be with us in just a second. Sarah belongs to the streets in the chat. Isaac Walmart. Let me go down here, but this is very funny. This will probably be my opening line from now on, wherever I do. Started with, "Hi, I'm Schmuel Buckman." Probably didn't get off to a great start. Dude, very, very good. Very good. That's a good one. I like that a lot. And let me bring in Nick, and let's see if this works, because my looking at this and it doesn't. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Let me go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. And now let's try to add Nick. There we go. Hola,
Beautiful.
Nico.
What's up, Mr. Buckman? How we doing?
Same shit, different day.
Nice, nice.
So, I'm messing around with the chat for a few minutes, and then I'd like to get into a little bit of our good friend, one Joey C. And but before that, I'd like to talk a little bit about Patrick Tomlinson and Waddling Dan and Ava a little bit. And somebody said Mersh is mad at me. So that's no news. I don't know why. How does Schmuel have less viewers than Kyle? Let's see some leg guitar. Kyle is a talent. I am a moron. Okay. And if you don't believe that, just ask Kyle. Have you seen any of the Kyle stuff lately?
Who the fuck is Kyle?
Karmic.
Oh, no. I can't stand watching that guy. I'm just not a fan. I think it's so much an act, and I just can't deal with it.
It's oh my God, it's gotten like progressively worse. He's doing he's back to the yelling at people, and they're trying to take down I can't do his voice, but they're trying to take down my channel and all that other stuff. And Joe Burrow's against him, Haley's against him, and he really just makes stuff up, because they're like, he'll do crazy shit on his show, they'll clip it, and then he's like, they're doing it to get my channel taken down, and well, maybe don't do the maybe don't yell and scream and holler and curse at people and threaten physical violence. But he went all off on last night. He went all off on he was going to kick So Thorough Joe Burrow's ass, and he was talking about that you're a punk and you're probably little and you're all this other stuff. I've met So Thorough Joe Burrow. He makes Karmic look like a pygmy. And not only that, he's very good looking. And I know that I say men are too good looking too often, but he's a really good looking guy. And it's like I would love to see that happen. Although I have a feeling that if Karmic met even me in my 5'7" aged body, he'd somehow back down. He would buddy with me. So,
I'm pretty sure Caddy Z is the real Karmic, and fucking Karmic is the fucking character. That's my fucking theory. So I don't think he's going after anybody in real fucking life. No fucking way.
I have to tell you though, Nick, being straight and doing a gay guy is like that's the easiest, the lowest hanging fruit
Yeah.
possible. You know? And he doesn't even do it well. You know?
Because he's gay.
Well, I know. And I'm not gay either, but let me tell you, my gay guy is perfect. And but now that I'm trying to do it, it doesn't work. I guess it has to come out later when I'm just flitting about and just ooh, this is beautiful. And then go from there. But yeah, it's everything is very performative with him. And I like when he first started, I was thinking about this last night. So basically the way that he got into this stuff was he was super chatting Pat Dixon a lot. I mean, a lot. And really into it with Pat. He was spending lots of money. I think Pat was helping him out a little bit. And he seemed to have some talent, and he had like those AI songs and stuff, and they seemed good. But also, too, Karmic was big in saying that he played the guitar, played the bass, and there was a lot of things that he said about musical talent, none of which we've seen in the last year, because I have a feeling it maybe doesn't exist. But in any event, then he switched over to KB, and at that time, I mean, he was a nut, right? So he had KB on his side. He was fighting with Pat, and but he had like Rocco and all of these guys like really trying to help him get his shit together. And I don't know whether he couldn't handle it, or my best guess is that the reality is once the curtain was pulled back, the stuff wasn't really there. And so then he just started fighting with everybody. And his drunken rages were hilarious, you know? Even bad. So NJ Ranger, do Pat's coming for old time's sake. We'll get a Pat's coming, I promise. So there we go. Brock, you're very funny with if Schmuel Talk Live doesn't have all of MLC's audience and more by this time next year, I'm trashing my entire house. Well, you can just trash it now because it ain't going to happen. Kevin is a talent and a professional comedian, and I am just a moron. B. Greg, 8725. I think Lemmy likes me, dude. Yeah, I kind of have a feeling that a lot of guys think Lemmy likes her, him, them, whatever I'm supposed to say. But
yeah, I know some people that wish. That's for sure. That's for sure. Jake Hudson, Husey, maybe.
Yeah, you know, I will tell you when it comes to Husey, it's weird because he seems like the kind of guy, you know, that would go for and stuff. But oddly enough, Husey's a guy that really cares. And so I don't know, right? Like, I don't know about it, but I got to tell you, if it were me and I were going to Hackamania, like I were coming to America to go to Hackamania, and the chick that I really wanted wasn't, I would have figured out a way to get to Florida. So, and he didn't. So, Jesus Christ. So maybe he is that guy, but he is really a good egg. I had a lot of fun with him in Vegas, and so I enjoyed my time with him. But yeah, there is a lot of rumor and innuendo about that, but the two have never met. So
they got really good chemistry on the show. Like, I think they work great together. I think his show's gotten so much better since he added her. It just I don't know. It just goes well. It's a totally different dynamic that just fucking works.
Oh, look at this. I look forward to a remake of The Birdcage with Schmuel in the Nathan Lane role and Panhandler in the Robin Williams role.
Oh boy.
I sent Panhandler a link, actually, and it was pretty funny because I asked Panhandler if he wanted to stream, and Panhandler said to me, "Didn't you stream already today?" And I go, "What are you, my mom?" And I told him I was going to send him the link, and I'm checking to make sure that I did, and I may not have, or I may have sent it to him on the phone. I don't know, but I'm going to send it now. And but you know me, I like told you 8 o'clock, and I told him like 8:45. So he's probably pissed off at me. But Dave Sarah, I was actually was thinking about not even doing it, and Dave Sarah was like, "No, man, I'll come right on. I'll come right on. I'll come right on. Just go. I'm gonna come right on." So, and here we are waiting for Dave Sarah.
Hurry the fuck up, Dave. Let's go.
Jesus. Oh, he won't show. This is probably what's gonna happen. He won't show. Oh, you know, I got busy. Peanut Butter 66. Husey is a fucking joke. He's a very funny guy. I will say that, and definitely a good egg. And I got to tell you, you know, like when you meet these people at Hackamania, some of them are fucking assholes, you know, like, I shouldn't say them, but I mean, some of these people that you meet, like, or you get from the Dabbleverse or whatever, are like, they can be assholes, and particularly guys that have like bigger shows and stuff. And I'm not suggesting that's the case with any of the people that we've met, but I've met a few people who are not around anymore, who were kind of assholes, like almost right away. And you know, a guy like Husey, I'm thinking like, this guy's not even going to talk to me, not pay attention to me, whatever. And I asked him and Rochi to do a stream, like on the off chance that they would be willing to do it. And we fucking did it right then and right there. And so it was great. And Jesus. And those two planned on, so they planned on getting me. And I got them. And then, but I brought Cookie in the room. And the thing about Husey is, for all of the stuff that Husey talks about, when he is in the presence of a woman, he's like a good guy. He can't act. Yeah. He can't act like the asshole that he usually does. Except he did ask my wife how big my dick was, how often I had sex, and something else. To which Cookie, the greatest wife in the world, replied, "He's never left me unsatisfied." Ding, ding, ding. She's the best. So there we go. And Garrett is a hack, right? Garrett, Rochi, and Hugh are drunken buffoons and ruined your stream. Dude, you gotta lighten up a little bit, right? They can't fucking all be toe tappers. And the most important part is that I have fun, and I had fun that day. That was fun.
I thought Tommy ruined the stream. That fucker. No?
Well, trying to dox my wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tommy says it was an accident. I believe that it was an accident, and Rochi is 100% convinced that it was not, that he did it on purpose. And I think he's even a little bit mad at me that I keep insisting that it was an accident. But as I explained to Rochi, I'm looking for a result, right? Like, I don't want it to happen again. And we stopped it right when we caught it in time. And that's really, so it doesn't really matter in my mind, right? We're not going to do it. Rochi told us having fun and enjoying thing is 100% gay though.
Yep.
Did he really say that?
Not those words, but yeah, you didn't see him on Pat Dixon talking about Eckel? No?
Yeah, but that makes sense to me.
it, like pretty much, what the hell did he say? Like I think somebody in the chat said that as like, yeah, like as like a sarcastic thing, because seemed like everything that Eckel had planned, Rochi acted like it was gay to like do fun things like, well, helicopter rides, whatever the hell, all the shit they did. I don't know. So
B Greg 8725 for $9. Cookies a smoke show. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I like her. NJ Ranger 201. Smile Talker Eckel. Yeah, look, I don't want to give the guy any grief, but NJ, you're not the first person. I got to tell you, I don't think that was it at all. I think he got there and was intimidated, and that's what happened. But he did go and enjoy himself, and he had stuff to do. But he does have a funky haircut. He's got like so it's shaved, and then he's got the part around the top, and he's got the little, it's not a ponytail, but like a little tail, hanging. So
yeah, I think it used to be longer, and I think he used to have it like braided and shit. He used to describe it to me like the fucking, like you picture like a Viking and stuff. So it's shorter now.
Shooting guns isn't gay, NJ Ranger. Having Eckel oil his bare chest to shoot guns shirtless is very gay. I don't know, it sounds exciting to me. No, I like Eckel. Like I like him a lot. I do think, to me, he did seem a little bit nervous. And I have a feeling, and this is just me guessing, the fact that he was a filter for so long, right? And that nobody knew what he looked like, none of those things. And then he comes to Hackamania after just showing his face that first time. I think he might have been a little bit embarrassed, like he was nervous about what the reaction was going to be.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there. I'm just going off of, I don't know. I was just a little put off at how, even if him and Rochi are different, which obviously they are, I think Rochi could have handled it differently. I think he could have been a little more appreciative of the whole fucking thing. But
appreciative of what exactly?
Well, paying for the whole trip. Like it seems that, God, like I don't even want to get involved in the whole thing, but it seems that obviously Eckel's my boy, so I'm gonna stick up for him. But it seems like Rochi didn't want to. He calls it grifting, what Eckel did, but then he's the one that benefited from the so-called grift. So it's, if you're against it, then don't take the money and don't go on the trip.
Yeah, I didn't think I honestly didn't think he was against that. I misinterpreted what he was saying. I don't want to get in the middle of it. I don't really have, but what I thought Rochi was saying was the fans paid for the trip.
That's what he's saying, because they were, super chats, super tips, whatever, gifted memberships. But I mean, it's not like it was Eckel's channel. It was, and he used a ton of that money for Rochi, and I believe he used his own money from his own job to pay for himself. So,
okay. I don't know. So I thought it all came from super chats and super tips and whatnot. But look, I like Eckel. I like Rochi. But people splitting up like that, I'm not surprised. And I got to interrupt because I do have to get to this. Brock, were you there? Schmuel had tons of incels approaching him for photos and still doesn't believe he has what it takes to take over the Dabbler. I wouldn't call them incels, but I have to say, the most amazing thing that happened to me there was how many people asked for selfies with me. Like, I was blown away. And then I went out to the pool, right, by myself. It was a windy day, and I went all the way over into this area that they had made a smoking section, put out a chair, sat down, lit a cigar, and was reading my phone. And the next thing I know, I'm looking on Twitter, and what do I see but a picture of me sitting all the way over in the distance, like some paparazzi took it, you know? And so it blew me away. But I enjoyed it. Look, man, I had a great time. Did the people who ask for selfies purposely blink for each picture? Dude, I would have been fucking happy if they did, but the answer is no. It was actually pretty wild. But it's weird because it's weird for people to know who you are, you know, like just sort of out of the blue, and it was pretty wild. Lady KB, I didn't even get to the pool, so. This is anybody that was complaining about the dry weather in Vegas or the heat or anything else, full of shit. It was warmer in New York last weekend than it was in Las Vegas. And it was windy as fuck. You know, like we went out and they had like taken all the lounge chairs and put them, like moved them in not storage, but in an area where they wouldn't blow away. Because everything was blowing away, and so it was pretty wild. So there you go. All right, Kim Boley. It was weird for chatters too. I'll bet it was. What do you call it? I was blown away. It was. Just the whole goddamn thing was so much fun. I mean, literally from the minute you got to the hotel until the minute you left, you know? And then I got lucky enough that I had gotten upgraded to first class on the way home. So it was like, this is fucking amazing. And I won $3,300 the night before I left.
You're not supposed to win money in Vegas, fucking Buckman. You're supposed to lose it. That's the fucking tradition.
It's so funny because it's I did get a thing from the plaza offering me 5 free nights because they want that money back.
Oh, of course they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get away with that shit.
Peanut butter 66 Buckman. Remember Icarus. Don't let those wings melt flying to the sun. Savor it, Buck. Go slow. You're actually late on that one, according to Wadlin Dan. I did that 4 or 5 weeks ago. Flew too close to the sun and died. Uh-oh. So there we go. Still here. I have no idea what even Renin is. But thank you, Stevie Lou Comedy. All right.
Stevie, our Red Sox fucking suck, dude. What the fuck? This is bullshit. Sorry.
All right. Careful, Icarus. The Icarus comments come up. It's actually pretty interesting because it's I haven't said anything about it. I haven't talked about it, and since it came up in the chat by somebody who was there, I did mention it. But that's why one of the reasons why though that place is so much fun, because everybody wants pictures with everybody else, you know, and everybody's happy and excited to meet each other. And it's also like, oh, you're OG Mumbling Nick, you know, and people are like really cool. They just really cool to do that. So sorry about that.
I could have went undercover too, unless people recognize the fucking accent or something. I could have been anybody I wanted.
You could have been, except for those beautiful blue eyes of yours.
Oh yeah, forgot.
Right, we would have spotted them. And I'm telling you, these fucks in this place, they'd have known right away. I have no idea how they would have known, but they would have known, right? They seem to know everything. But let's go. I'm gonna pop. Ooh, I lost it. So it turns out that somebody pulled up some 2024 Patrick Tomlinson tweets, and I did you see the John, Dan, and Ava thing last night?
I didn't see it last night. I saw the one of the clips this morning. So yeah, I was kind of aggravated because I usually watch John at night, but didn't happen last night. And it looks like I missed a good one.
I hear that after it was over, they all came back and were buddy. But if you saw the clip of Ava asking the questions, what was happening was she was asking Dan some pointed questions. I felt he was evading the answers and minimizing stuff. But it turns out, it didn't turn out, I knew this already, that he was more involved in this, I think, than he'd care to admit. And there's this one, but it is Dabbling Down Under, who I think is the Orange Puppet people. Hold on. Who put up a couple of tweets, and I saw the first one. It's not really that great, but there was a second one. There was a Dan Mullen that wrote a letter to a bar that said something along the lines of Tomlinson had his dick out the entire time he was talking to Dan in the bar, and just they really fucked with this guy. They fucked with this guy's life, like, really bad. And he came back at him, and it wasn't just little innocuous shit. And he called my boss and was doxing my family. All of that stuff happened later on, after Tomlinson tried to get it to stop, because they really were ruining his life. And the guy might not have been all that stable in the first place, but that's the danger, right? And if you find out somebody you're messing with isn't stable, it's probably best to leave it alone. B. Greg, 8725 for $4.99. SJ for Sal and Rich, best trade since Parrish and McHale. Joe Barley cares. Sports references are lost on me. I guess that's the Red Sox.
That's the Celtics, buddy. Celtics.
Oh, the Celtics. College basketball, I enjoy. I watch it. My wife, Villanova, huge Villanova fan, and I like that. But professional basketball, it's like, do they still have rules? Or if they do they, like, I'll watch like one of their stars like basically run down the court holding the ball in their hands.
Oh yeah.
And nothing. And then some fucking new guy take 2 steps, and the next thing I know, they're calling traveling. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm also pretty convinced that NBA basketball is fixed, but that's a story for another time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say we'll move on. Not totally fixed, but referees in basketball can affect a sport like no other. Like they can call travel every fucking play if they want. They can call fucking carry and double. They can, and they, that referee that got caught gambling, he let it out of the bag that certain games he'd call all this extra shit. So it's possible.
And they just busted somebody up. I think it was the NBA up in Toronto, right? The guy with the foot.
I'm not sure.
So this guy, there's all these prop bets, about how many will this guy score, how many will this happen, injuries and stuff. And this guy faked a foot injury, and he managed to get like $250,000 out of it.
Jesus.
And they busted him, but apparently the NBA knew about it, and sort of handled it quietly, like didn't want it to get out. Baseball has had, that was another thing. Baseball's had that problem, where they do.
Tiny.
I like Serenity Now, with the very, it is fixed in circumstances. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like every game, So, but there we go. Soup party. No, I'm not playing any songs. If that's the thing. So I was right about the 250. He had $1 million contract and threw it away. Wow. There we go. Jean-T Porta. Banned for life. Terry Rozier arrested. Chauncey Billups, a coach, was in business with them as well.
Damn. Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups both played for my Celtics at certain points. Fuck.
Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Don't you come to my shed.
Oh,
He doxing me with soup.
So did you see Granny? Did you talk to him? All right. Let me ask you this, because I actually don't mind Granny, but I want to ask everyone, not that I care, but is the he smells thing, is that a bit that everyone just says he stinks? Or
No.
was there an odor?
No.
Okay.
It was not a bit. And I will say this. He may shower, and I say may because it doesn't appear that he does. Like visually, it doesn't look like he does. But he's really, really tiny. And he's
Yeah, I heard that too.
really, really skinny. He's got like that real alcoholic body, you know? And what happens is, having experienced this in my life with a roommate of mine, like the alcohol like stinks through their pores, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they always smell. And then I imagine that he's probably decaying from the inside as well. So you've got that smell of decay mixed with the old alcohol and shit. It was pretty fucking gross, you know? And on top of that, he literally looked homeless. Like, if he had not been there in that group, I don't think they would have let him in the hotel. Personal opinion. Because, like, a lot of these guys, like a lot of homeless guys, where, you know, they would walk up to the front or they would try to walk in the casino, and security would politely escort them out.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe we don't have anything for you here. So, that was it. Oh, wait. We have to ask this question. Nasty Neil, I'm trying to eat here. Nasty Neil.
Who the fuck is the other guy?
Earlier today, we did a show, which actually I named this one the same, which was Creeps, Cowards, Clowns, and Con Men. And my chat was voting for you, for con men, for this laptop thing that you're, using their words, begging for money for a laptop. What say you on that? Because it did seem a little weird. If Schmuel didn't smell him, he'd say he stinks. He's got an axe to grind with Granny because he doesn't want to hear his AA speech. 100% no. I stayed away. I literally stayed away from Granny all weekend. Granny said hello to me a couple of times, and I was just, hello, Granny, and I walked away. But I went into the Dave Sarah, Tommy Jordan hotel room after Granny left, and it was like, these guys were like trying to find fucking cologne and incense from everywhere to get the smell out of the room. So, Kimboli, 100%, he tiny. He a tiny little man. So all of the stories of the fighting and the kicking ass and all that stuff, I think they're probably going to get stacked up with the rest of the stories with him, because it's not. It's either he found Midget Town, and it's the the one-eyed man, right, is king among the blind, or he doesn't get in fights, because there's no way among like normal sized people this guy's winning fights. Maybe he goes to the grade schools, like fights the 8th graders. I mean, that's always a possibility too.
I get this begrudging respect for Granny. Like he for a few things, man, but he threw out that number, 10 grand. They go, done. and he kept his word. I mean, that's not easy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I got a price too to do that, but it ain't nowhere near 10 grand. It's way more. So for him to do that for, I think, 8 grand just to keep, because he said he would. I mean, good for him, bro. Good for him.
See, I would say he didn't do it just for 8 grand. That 8 grand was more than this guy's seen in the last 20 years. And he's got nothing, like Zippo. And before the incident occurred, he was asking everyone to buy him beer. Would you buy me a beer? Would you buy me a beer? Would you buy me a beer? Look, he even went and asked Husey to buy him a beer. And that did not go well.
Yeah, he's not a fan.
And I was there for that. And I was like, ooh, this got tense very quickly. And it was wild because Husey just goes, it's like, he's standing, Husey's behind a fence. NJ Ranger, just for you, Husey was inside the carousel bar, which is an outdoor bar, and it's got a railing around it. Husey's on the inside of the railing. Granny's on the outside of the railing, about 5 feet away. I'm kind of in the middle between the two. And Granny walks up and says hello to Husey. Husey said something snarky, and Granny asked him to buy him a beer. And Husey's response was, when you buy your kid a birthday present. And Granny's then response was, like, you mean like right now? And Husey, I could be mistaken, but I believe the words were, what the fuck did you think I mean? But, or something along those lines. So it was tense, but it ended very quickly. Granny walked away. So, but I felt like, Nick, he sold his dignity for 8 grand.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at it that way. I'm just saying most guys. No, I don't know what he did. Like, I mean, he made it sound like he was limp, so I don't know what the fuck he even did. And I can't blame him. I mean, you'd have to take Viagra fucking for that if you're a straight guy. But I just mean most guys would have tried to like whittle their way out of it after like Deadpool's like done. Because he just threw it out. Like, I don't think Granny expected, unless he did. I don't know. I'm just saying most guys wouldn't have kept to that bet.
But he had months to get out of it, right? I mean, it wasn't like it happened 2 days before. This is going on for forever. So he could have got out of it. And I have to wonder if, Granny said he'd do it for 10 grand. Deadpool says he'll pay 10 grand. And then Granny's going, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Where you and me would be going, what the fuck did I just say?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I need 8 grand too, but not that bad. Not that bad.
No. None of us need 8 grand that bad. Right. No matter what anyone tells us.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be worth 8 grand for me. Maybe, not even maybe. I'm going to say maybe, and this is going to come back to haunt me. But like, if you were alone on a desert island and you could contest that it actually happened, maybe. But this was fucking videotaped.
Yeah, and plus, guys like us are married, Buckman. Not only like what we'd have to do, we'd have to have a conversation with our wives before we fucking did this. See how that went over.
Yeah, I can imagine how that conversation would go with my wife. Well, enjoy singlehood, because that's what would have happened. Yeah. And my wife is like a nervous Nelly. She'd be convinced that I caught AIDS or something.
Right. Yeah.
And all the prep in the world wouldn't change her. But this notion of slamming a flaccid penis into this guy's butt, I can't imagine that Granny's had anything but a flaccid penis for forever. He just doesn't look like a guy who has had anything but for a long time. So it's hard for me to explain how bad he looks, you know? And thank God he's in Florida and he got a tan, because he definitely, if he was like one of us, like up here, he'd look like me. He'd look like he died and nobody told him. You know, soup party. You can't be flaccid and also get a condom on. I've tried. Do you know what you just said there, soup party? You're right. I just remembered that you're right. Back in the day, way back in the day, when I was in the hospital working, they have a thing called, do you know what Texas cath is?
No.
You know what a catheter is, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So a catheter, normally they stick inside you.
Yeah. A pee hole.
A Texas cath, which I don't even know if they still make them, is a catheter, but it's got a condom on the end of it. So you can put it around your penis and not in your penis. And I remember when we had this old admiral, this guy's born in the 1800s. It's like 90. And they said, put a Texas cath on him. That was more difficult than solving a Rubik's Cube. And we just wound up using Chuck's pads and cleaning up. So, yeah, because there's nothing to like grab onto.
Yeah, I think Granny described it as jamming pudding into a sock. I don't know if that was putting his dick in the condom or putting his limp dick in the ass. I'm not sure which he meant, but
I don't know. I just figured he threw the condom on the ass and then stuck his dick on top of the condom, but you know. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I'm even thinking like I probably have one price to do this and then another price if I found out it was going to be fucking recorded and someone was going to have this shit.
Yeah. And answering my question, there's not a price that you could pay me that would make it worth me doing. I've been offered a lot more money for a lot less dignity-defying things than sticking my ass in another man. So I just wouldn't do it.
Nice. Buckman's not doing it.
Well, I don't think would you do it? How much would you do it for?
It'd be God, I don't know. It'd be a lot, a fucking lot. Yeah, like I said, my wife would probably tell me to get fucked too, unless it was some fucking crazy number. And I told her it was just going to be for a few seconds.
I don't think that there would be a number that my wife would agree to. NJ Ranger 201, I think Texas Cath was one of the other working girls down there. Very funny. That fucking shit is hilarious.
God damn.
Nasty Neil telling us, no offense, Nasty Neil, but you're telling us what we all know. Yeah. Yes, we are aware. We were advised as soon as we walked into the hotel. And yes, there we go. I don't know. I look, man, I'd be less embarrassed doing a Joey C and heading to the welfare office, you know, or lining up for government cheese. Like that would be what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, I think he gave Lemmy some of the money. I think she said that. I forget what it was, but
he gave her $500.
$500. Yeah.
And then asked for it back.
Oh.
Because he told everyone that he gave her $2,000. And I'm going to say inadvertently, because I was there when it happened, inadvertently said how much money it was, and then he wanted that money back. And then he was like, no, man, it's just fuck her. I'm just going to use, I'm going to get the kid Amazon shit. I'll just get him money through Amazon. And to Lemmy's credit, she sent him the money back.
Wow.
So, yeah, Lemmy has pride and dignity. and maybe that's developed over, recent times. I don't know a lot about her. I don't know what she was like when she met him or what she was dating him, or I don't even know that he was even as bad as he is now back then, you know? But proud girl. But I calculated that out to about 6%, 6.25% of the 8 grand. That's for your fucking kid. I mean, come on.
I hate this whole thing. Like, I hate when people's personal lives get in the Dabbleverse, and I know it's inevitable because they were both in the Dabbleverse, but yeah, it just sucks. I hate knowing this stuff.
Well, look, we know it all because of Granny, not because of Lemmy. Lemmy didn't say anything. It was 100% Granny and 100% Granny saying shit about Lemmy, talking about Lemmy, trying to fuck with Lemmy, on and on and on. So that was the deal. She really kept her mouth shut during this. So it is what it is. Does he survive this? I mean, it's not going to kill him, but I mean, like, it didn't appear to me. I mean, he did a show the other night, and it was interesting because people in Vegas who were in his circle, who were talking shit about him, when he was doing his show the other night, they were all right there. So, I have a feeling that they were whispering one thing into our ears and something else into his. But
yeah, if anyone can survive that, it's Granny. It's like he's got that the personality, like the wild man personality. So it's I don't give a fuck. So
But Nick, and you say that, and I'm with you, but and there are other people here, and I've got to say he was none of those things in Las Vegas. He was really, to me, he appeared to be a broken man. That was my view. He was alone all the time. I think there was Mike's shitty internet provider that he hung out, but Mike's shitty internet provider was generally gone very early, and but like nobody was hanging out with him, and
was in 4K there?
just from my 4K was not hanging out with him.
No.
And wait, 4K is Chandler, right? Or is
No.
2K? You mean
Oh,
2K?
sorry. Yeah, 4K is Chandler. I meant 2K. 2K. Yeah, my bad.
2K. No, 2K was there, but 2K was off on. I didn't see them together very often, and NJ can correct me if I'm wrong, but I really was like, I sat there, so I'm fucking sober. I can't help myself, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm watching. There was just for me, there was a lot of I do a lot of watching when people are getting all drunk and intoxicated and stuff. But I'm just like watching the crowd, and I was watching him, and I just kept thinking, like, he's got to be the loneliest guy here. He's just like standing by himself almost the whole time, and it was, I don't know, it was just it was sad. I is the only way that I can put it, because I don't know. I thought there was something to him, and this has just not been great. So
Poor Granny, poor Lemmy, poor the whole situation. Unfortunate.
Well, look, Lemmy will do fine. Lemmy will be great, and and I don't know about you, but I've dated some nutters in the past, and like, you can't imagine how this person's ever going to be out of your life, and then at some point you look back and they're just a distant memory.
Yeah, I remember when
So-
Scarlett first came into the Dabbleverse and I was doing shit with Echo, and I was like, dude, this reminds me of like couple crazy chicks I dated, fucking blah blah blah. And then she just got crazier and crazier. I was like, nope, I never did anybody this fucking crazy. Never mind. But yeah, I got a
Yeah.
couple wackadoos.
Diablo. I do a lot of watching when people are all drunk and intoxicated and stuff. Not at all a creepy statement, Schmuel. It's not.
He's a creep.
Yeah, well,
He's a weirdo.
yeah, there's that's up there. But yeah, you're hanging out. It's like it's a bar and it's Vegas and everybody's drinking and you're hanging out. And it's just like the more people drink, the more fucked up they get and the weirder they act. And you just can't help but like, because you're not drinking. So you're not like, you wind up just like kind of staring off and just seeing stuff, that you wish you didn't see. But I will say one of my favorites was, and this is not doxing him because he said it, but poor Kahuna. Somebody gave Kahuna a 100 milligram gummy, and I don't think Kahuna's had any kind of weed in years, and it essentially paralyzed him for 12 hours.
Jesus.
And I started talking to him like right after he took it, and as we were taking it, it was like he was growing more and more distant. And just more and more distant. And then eventually he just walked away. And apparently went up to his room and laid out for 12 hours. Jeez. Which kind of sucks because then you miss Vegas, But, and you being a sober fella, it's like some guys were there and one of my good friends in the Dabbleverse was just so fucked up, like the whole weekend. They're not gonna remember any of it, and it's like, I mean, I get, I see why doing it, like like getting all fucked up and seems to be cool, but it's like, you're 40 years old. There are like other things we could do, but we can't do them now because you can barely stand up.
Yeah, part of the reason I was afraid to go is even though I have all these years sober, I think drinking was never my drug of choice. I was actually, believe it or not, more of a social drinker, but I had a fucking drug problem. And I was afraid that if I was surrounded by, people I got to meet and this and that, like I could talk myself into having like a couple of beers. And because really, I mean, I say I'm 14 years sober. Really, I'm like 10 years sober. Because two occasions in those first 4 years, I drank at a wedding and I drank at a Red Sox game. I had 1 beer at the Red Sox game and 3 beers at the wedding. But I had them, And I was afraid that I would talk myself into that too. So it's got to be, especially just watching. I'm guessing everybody but like you and maybe 2 other people were fucking drunk or buzzed at least at that fucking place.
Well, there's a lot of people that don't drink and they just get high.
Yep.
But then there were other people. There was a lot of this powdery stuff around it.
I'm
sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so a lot of these guys were like hammered fucking drunk. And the powder would provide like internal body support. So they'd be standing there looking at you and you'd be looking at them going, they have no idea that I'm here.
Being diagnosed with a heart condition like in the past year, it's actually like almost like a blessing, because I'm dead. I used to love coke, and I'd be too afraid to even fucking touch that shit anymore. My heart beats too fast as it is. I don't need no fucking coke. Jesus.
I would like it. I am a what do you call it? I got ADD really bad, and when I did coke, and I should have known this back when the day, it would calm me down. Like
what?
I would have coke, and it would be like, my wits would come about me. Now, as the night progressed and more, but yeah, and it was like speed, any kind of speed. And I'm like, oh, that's why they give them. I didn't realize it, and then it dawned on me that one day this is why they give these kids Adderall and amphetamines. And Peanut butter. Bookman only cares about pussy. Um, I am monogamous, very monogamous, and very married, but I'm neither blind nor dead. And I do notice that. That's the noticing of what do you call it? The young lady. I'm gonna say young ladies, and you're all gonna go anything, but I mean, the younger attractive ladies, and to me, young is probably anything under 40. But and I was blown away at how many uh, there were a lot of pretty women around Vegas. Um, but I will say that it was generally offset uh, by the amount that are not so attractive. And I don't know if NJ Ranger would agree, but I've never seen so many ugly brides in my life.
I'll never forget when it fucking finally hit me I was old, because like I was never a stud, but I actually wasn't a bad looking dude in my younger years. And I remember probably like 5 years ago, 7 years ago, I'm in line and I'm like behind this girl. She's probably like 25. And I'm like, wow, she's fucking attractive. Then I'm like, oh fuck, I'm an old man to her. Realized like back in the day, you're like, hey, maybe. And I'm like, no, I'm fucking in my 40s. I'm fucking old to this woman now. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you go through this process as you age, which is they look at you, right? They may
Yeah.
turn away, but they look at you, right? Then they kind of look past you.
Hmm.
And then eventually you reach Schmuel's age and they look through you. They don't even see you. It's like you're invisible. And that's wild. It's a wild feeling. And you're like, and you don't, like, I know how old I am, but I don't feel like I'm an old man. But I am totally aware of trying not to be creepy,
Yeah, right.
and because I've always thought nothing was more disgusting than old men flirting with young girls,
Oh, big time, big time.
and I'm like, I don't want to be like that. And I want some dignity, not a lot, but dignity. And Cookie was like Catherine Zeta-Jones. No, not even close. Not even close. Cookie's attractive. She's great, but she's no Catherine Zeta-Jones. And um, Cookie is also one of those. For me, I mean, she's gotten better looking over the years. So that's the thing. But she does have, as one Husey would say, an awesome fart box. So I I I dig the bottom, and try to touch it as often as humanly possible. Um, but there we go. Let's say you tried to traffic Scarlett. You're a creep. Yes, I tried to traffic Scarlett. That's what I did. I wanted Scarlett to have a fucking chaperone. That was my sin. And I didn't want to be the chaperone. Um, uh, Wait, let me just see. Friend of the show. Oh my God, I just realized I have to be somewhere. Nasty Neil, as I get older, younger women get more attracted to me. There is what is called a tipping point. And the tipping point is one day that stops. And
Yeah. I'll never forget one night I went out. I was like 33. I was in my early 30s at the time. And I went out for drinks with this is probably one of the last times I drank before I got, yeah, one of the last times before I got sober. And I was out with this guy from work he was in his early 20s, and all the girls, all the women at work thought he was like hot shit. Like, he was an attractive dude and he was super cool. So I'm figuring, we go out, they're all going to be all over him. There was this 23-year-old who was all over me because she was fucked up and had daddy issues. And it was like, how old are you? 33. Oh, that's hot. and she finds out I graduated the same high school as her 10 years later. Then she found out I had like a little kid. It's like she thought all that was hot. So nasty. You can get the crazy ones, buddy, when you get older. But the sane ones, I don't know, bro. Not no
Yeah,
more.
I don't know either. Diablo sandwich. I thought the tipping point was the point when the tip goes in. Am I right, Schmuel? And it's probably a better question for Granny than me. Um, and Frank, you gotta like stop mixing your shit here. You did say chaperone her and that Sally Draper was the hottest in season 1. That's not what I said. And it was season 7 of Industry. You cats thought it was Euphoria, but it was Industry. I was just surprised. So watching the TV show Industry, and this girl comes on and she's attractive and she's a bit of a slut. And I'm looking at the face and I'm like, I know this face. No, I know this face, but I couldn't place it in my head. And I looked it up, and it was the kid who played Sally Draper on Mad Men. She was like probably 10 or 11 in Mad Men. And it was freaky to see an adult version of this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I wish they'd just stay kids, like just don't do this to me. And but apparently a lot of people feel guilty about it. Let's just see. Here we go. Yeah, Nasty has it all figured out. Younger women like it when you beg online for donations for a new laptop. They find that hot. Oh, please, please. Yep. That's actually pretty funny. And I do I look, I could picture Granny going like, oh, that chick found it really hot when I asked her to borrow $1.50 for a Coke. It was great. This is the creepiest story. Think about it, Schmuel. Oh, Roy, stop. And you're Roy Cohn. You got more creepy stories than all of us combined. So just stop it.
Gay Schmuel.
And only Husey would talk about a 6-foot skinny Zendaya having an ass. It must be real slim pickings in Ireland. I have a thought about Ireland girls, but I won't go there. Or I will, but they tend to get matronly very young. At least they used to. I don't know if they still do, but I'll go here. So I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't mean to get you off into trouble.
Trouble. I got in trouble?
I don't know. I always get in trouble, and I got an email from Brian Landon the other day that said, I don't know why, man, but a lot of people hate you. Keep up the good work. So, and other stuff too. Like I was like cool with Mersh, and then the next thing I know, Mersh is mad at me. And I think because I'm thinking that it's what do you call it? I'm thinking that it's like it has to do with I came into this and part of the thing is at a younger point in my life I developed terrible stage fright. Just terrible stage fright. And I was really worried. Like I never let pictures be taken of me because I don't know, I was nervous. So I came on here and I was very unsure of myself and nervous and stuff like that. And Mersh actually helped me with it. And then I went from being sort of this nervous little guy to a little bit cocky. And I think that's where it went. Because he did say that people don't like me. They don't like a confident me. That's what they don't like. And it's not really confident. It's just bluster. So, realizing that you're on camera, right, and not in real life, not in front of an audience,
Yeah.
Makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, I don't understand all the back and forth beefs in the Dabbleverse. I don't, obviously some of them I figure are works or staged or just for, it's kind of like wrestlers going from good guys to bad guys. And so I can't keep up who likes who. Like I've never had that issue. Like, that I know of. But I don't know. I don't know, Schmuel. Um, I mean, you got the trolls. Obviously, they're gonna troll. They're gonna troll no matter what. You are very opinionated, so that can probably piss some
Me?
people off. Yeah,
I had no idea.
is that sarcasm?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Yeah. So yeah, you're always letting people know what you think of them. So I'm sure that and there's nothing wrong with that. I actually like that in a person, but it it might turn Mersh off or other people off. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Look, I don't know either. Um, and but I also think that he's just mad at the Dabbleverse and the lack of respect that he's getting, and so he just takes it out on anybody that's around him. And I'm one of those people. So there we go. Excuse me, Roy Cohn Esquire. I do not understand this. He's old. I get it, but try to keep up with the times. Sometimes he sounds like SJ. Excuse me. I don't think I ever sound like SJ, but I guess it's possible. But if you want to point it out and tell me, I'm willing to learn. Dave Sarah. I use my finger to stir my drink. Gee gee gee.
What do you think of the new Rob Saul story arc going after John? Sorry,
I-
defending himself against John, I should say. But, yeah.
I haven't really been paying much attention to the John and Rob Saul back and forth. Like, I'm really happy for Rob that Rob got sober, and that he went to rehab and he's in IOP. And look, man, I think it's great. I did send Rob a note and trying not to be. I was trying to be nice and not be a scumbag. But and I know that 77 or 78 days is not a lot.
Yeah, it is, but it isn't. It's you never think you'll get there, but in the long run, you're not in the safe zone yet.
Slapjaw Timothy Smallwood for $1.99. Granny is sniping you right now. Of course he is. He doesn't have any content. This is the most entertaining thing that's happened to him in a week, other than
I don't know.
sticking his dick in some chick's. Well, actually, not even a chick, but yes.
Vegas has got to be exciting. I'm sure he had a long, exciting weekend. Besides that,
Hey, and he topped it off with man ass. What more could you possibly ask for?
as a man of his word, what can I say?
Yeah, no, I'm not even not saying, but I'm just saying it's like now everybody comes around you and everybody's really proud of you, and they're thrilled that you did this. In 4 or 5 months, it's just going to be what's expected of you. And that's when it's tough because you're not getting the accolades that you used to be getting before. And as you start to try to re-enter your regular life, it's tough because you want to hang out with your friends go to bars, your friends drink, you worry about things like, you start thinking like, well, what are people going to say if I go to a wedding and I'm not drinking, and for the most part, I think nobody cares, right? Like, I don't know. Is that your experience or?
Yeah, it's only happened to me. So ironically, like I said, I've drunk twice, like in the first 4 years when I was sober, and one was that Red Sox game. I had one beer, and we got box seats at work, so a bunch of us went. We would get like 2 tickets each, and there's a guy I'm friends with at work. Like, we never hung out outside of work though, and he was so excited. And I show up, and he's already half in the bag. And he's like, Nick, I gotta have a beer with you. And I'm like, I don't drink no more, dude. And all game, and finally, like in the 8th inning, I grabbed the fucking beer and just fucking chugged it. And just the fucking, and the next day at work, he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, ultimately I did it. It was my choice, you know what I mean? Like, but that was like the only time where like someone really, where it was like a kind of a big deal that I didn't drink. Other than that, it's not really a big deal.
It's not really a big deal, but let me just grab up Slapjaw Timothy Smallwood for $1.99. 2K Puppet is a soft weasel knocking me out. Taz chat. I'm going to assume Taz is Taz, the resident artist. And I don't have any comment on 2K Puppet being a soft weasel or not. But, there you go. I mean, that's one of, he's a granny boy, right? I think. 2K?
I think, yeah.
That's
I think
who he co-hosts the show with.
Yeah, they stream together. Yeah.
Yeah. So, there. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, the interesting part of that is, it's very funny that what does happen though at every one of those events is that some asshole will have to ask you about it.
Yeah.
Like, well, why don't you drink? I don't really feel like it. Do you have a problem with alcohol? And you're like, and in the beginning, like, I felt like I needed to, like, give an answer, and because it's like it's in your head because you're thinking about it all the time. And now, basically, if somebody says, if I have a problem with alcohol, but I'm about to. And, like, fuck you. You're not entitled to an answer. I just don't drink. It's not a big deal,
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, some people, like my mother, doesn't like alcohol. Like, she doesn't drink just because she fucking hates it. Never had a problem with it. So that happens.
Taz has kicked me and all 9 of my accounts, 9 accounts, out of Pat's chat for mentioning her hand tattoo. Well, maybe you shouldn't have mentioned it. And good evening, Tim. All right. What the fuck? And can you believe 2K became soft and in his feelings tonight? Don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. So hard for me to tell. And what's going on? I was actually on stage with 2K at one point. We were doing that Hackamania free.
Oh, nice.
Streams after. And he's a pretty funny guy.
Yeah, no, I think he's funny. I think he's the voice. I got no problem with Mr. 2K. I think he's got the skills. Yeah.
I don't either. And anybody that asks to tell me to send Dave the link, I'm going to throw out of the fucking room because Dave has access to everything. So
Dave always has the link, motherfuckers. Link and Coke. Dave always has both.
Dave has everything. He can come in here, boom, whenever the fuck he wants. So, actually, Cupcake wanted me to get 2K and 4K on together. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if that happens.
That'll piss Joey off if you want to do that.
Oh, I pissed Joey off today. That's for sure. And then he wrote, he really is like the dumbest fucking person on the planet. He sent me a tweet that was the most ridiculous thing in the world. And I will see if I can find it real quick because I think that I probably can. Catalano TV. Because I said I wanted to debate him. This is the Joey C answer. That's sick, Schmuel. You wants me to masturbate me. You wants to masturbate me. Spelled wrong, obviously. My God, you are a pervert. That is so sick and gross. Wow, Schmuel. You're I not touching me. I will put my foot down on this one. Schmuel, let me explain this to you. I am a man who is married to a woman. I don't know what you deal is. That's your business. I assume your wife has a cock. I am not that kind of a man. I am sorry. What is it with this obsession? You and Cupcake are both like in love with me. Go away. And I responded with the least a presidential candidate can do is use a spell check. But laziness pervades the Catalanos. So even that is too much effort. Let me guess. Velcro sneakers too. So there you go.
Yeah, I've gotten plenty of Joey D. I speak fluent Joey at this point. I think I can usually figure him out. But yeah, and I feel bad because I half the time I don't fucking I DM very quickly, so a lot of times I fat finger the shit out of my stuff. But I'm not running for president either. So
It was great because he was in the chat today and he was really pissed and he was flying and the English was so bad. It was like we needed a translator to try to figure out what the fuck he was saying. And then he must have gotten really upset because Christina came into the chat to scold me as well.
oh boy.
So there we go. Rochi888. Notice Joey was happy to meet up with Granny straight away after he did what he did in Vegas. Schmuel, Joey is flirting with you. Rochi, I considered that, and that's why I immediately went into the spell check thing, because I wanted to dissuade him from having any designs on the Schmuel bot. So there you go. But yeah, it was like, and that was actually pretty funny because Joey was talking about what a piece of shit I was, and that last night he was on with Granny.
Oh really?
Yeah, that was apparently that was apparently the win. So in any event, friend of the show wants me to disregard the crosstalk. It's not like I'm not going to see it, and you're welcome to do it. I don't mind doing it, but don't think you're doing it without me seeing it, right? And occasionally I like to read them, especially when you say something very warm and soft towards one of your other friends. So Rochi, since we have you in here, Nick, very disappointed in the way that you treated Eckel with the money. Is that, would you like to address that at all? We wouldn't mind hearing. And I'm picking on Nick, but it's not really, I think on the, what stream was that? The Husey stream, you actually, what do you call it? Eckel won the poll. I don't know what the numbers were, but Eckel did come on. They had a poll over who was right and who was wrong. So, and he did have over 200 people watching, so there was probably a deal. And Rochi says no, he would not like to.
Yeah, I mean, what I gotta give Rochi is he flat out said he doesn't care. So I think Rochi's the real deal. I just I don't know. I was kind of sucked. And a lot of people, a lot of fans of theirs are disappointed in the break.
Yeah, Brock actually puts this much better than I did earlier, which is Eckel debuted his real look 3 seconds before a live meetup. Give him some time to break out of his shell. Yes. And again, like because he was a filter for so long, nobody really knew what he looked like and whatnot. So he really would have had to have like gone around and introduced himself, and then people would have known who he was. But I will say he went on a helicopter ride. He went and saw a bunch of shit. So I got to say that the guy definitely, he had a good time. He certainly seemed to be having a good time in Vegas. So.
Yeah, I think part of the reason is they're two different people. And it's what's funny is I'm somewhere between both of them. Like, I think I would have enjoyed doing more of the things that Eckel did than Rochi did, but I wouldn't have enjoyed them all. I wouldn't have wanted to go to a burlesque show and other shit too, whatever. So yeah, I'm somewhere in between. But back in my day, I probably would have been a lot more like Rochi. I would have been at the bar and up till 4 a.m. or whatever the fuck, like a lot of people. But I don't know. It just they've been streaming together so long. It's usually when you meet that kind of more solidifies it. Usually doesn't go the other way. So
Well,
disappointing.
I've got to say, one thing is streaming together is different than being friends, right?
Oh,
Like
100, yeah,
being
100%.
like being
Yeah.
together, so it's not shocking that you wouldn't like automatically get along or whatever, but and you're two very different people. And so it's like, two people go on a trip. My wife and I is the perfect example. Like we went when we were in Vienna, she wanted to go see every castle, everything, just everything, like get up in the morning and go. And I wanted to hang out like in the plazas and shit, smoke cigars and drink coffee and just watch, you know? Like that was me, and walk around slowly, you know? And like her thing was, no, she's got to get out there and she's got to see these things. So it's just different people travel differently. So, that's the deal. Peanut butter 66. I want to tell you, my friend, buffets no more. I don't think there are really any buffets left in Las Vegas, and if there are, there's less than 3. They just don't exist. And quite a while ago, they figured out that they could charge for fucking everything, and so even the free drinks aren't so free anymore. Like when these guys were sitting at the bar and playing, like how you play video poker and they serve you drinks.
Yeah.
The machines have red and green lights on the back of them, so the bartenders can tell whether you're playing or not. So it's like if you stop playing for like for 5 minutes, the light goes red. And there we go. Rochi from Tug Simp. Rochi, I'm sure Eckel didn't expect you to go to bed at 10 p.m. Yeah, he also wanted me to say sorry for partying too. Interesting. I think I think that we think this is a much bigger deal than it really is. So, and I don't trust those two Brits. So,
Yeah, I mean that's look. I don't think this is a work by any means. Neither one of them strike me as the type that sure Rochi will probably. I mean, he likes to have a little fun trolling, but I can't see him doing a big work with Eckel. I don't think.
No, I do see that. But if we watch them streaming, right? Rochi sits in his chair or sits on his couch and like does his stuff, and he looks very comfortable there. And to know Eckel's got his setup, and he's got all of his things, and he's very like, and Eckel, and I know Eckel enough, right? He's got a schedule, he's busy, he's got, things that he does. It just seems to me they're just different, would be different types of people.
Oh, big time. And but that's, I mean, maybe it doesn't work on vacation, but that's what works on the stream. Like, I think the only reason anyone ever enjoyed Eckel and I is because we're totally different. Like he's a control freak, and I throw little wrenches in that control, and it can be funny because I'm the fucking opposite, and Rochi definitely is the opposite. But I don't know. I hate to see that just something that was supposed to be fun and a shared experience would, break up the show or what the shows they do. But,
Yeah, but it's just like, but and for a stream, you may need 2 different people, right? Like if you had 2 lazy guys, the shit would never get done. Like nothing would happen. Or if you had 2 people that were Eckel and Haley, who are both very like organized and do all their stuff, they'd probably be fucking busting heads all the time, So, you don't know, but but again, you're streaming. You're like you're not hanging out, and that's That's the difference. But I think both of them had fun in Las Vegas.
Oh, I think they did. Yeah.
Yeah. And so but I know and I know I saw Rochi much more than I saw Eckel. And Rochi he was definitely enjoying himself, you know. And Rochi is a fucking star. I mean, everybody wanted to see Rochi. And talk to Rochi and be with Rochi. And Rochi had some amazing fucking women that he was talking to, who were legitimate guests, not like another guy had a hooker riding around on a whatever, what a jazzy van or jazzy cart, whatever the fuck those things are called. Little carts that the fat people ride or old
Oh,
people.
yeah, the little fucking motor. Yeah, I forget what they're called. Yeah.
This is interesting. J-Dub Productions. Ralph Whale was a big bust. He did nothing. Ralph Whale was always going to be a big bust. I got to say that not a single person that I talked to gave a fat rat's ass, to use Stuttering John. Nobody gave a fuck about Ralph and him coming there and whatnot. It was like nothing. It was a dud. Now I do know that like Mersh and those guys, there were a group of people that really wanted them to be there and really wanted them to cause trouble and really wanted to do stuff. But the dabblers at Hackamania, they're just not interested. So that and I don't know whether that surprised them or didn't. I didn't know that Ralph had come in the hotel. And I was told yesterday that Ralph actually came in and sat at the bar for 45 minutes. So, and there was no trouble. And that, apparently so, Genta. It sucks that everyone knows my dumb ass. Rochi, you're full of shit. You loved it.
Yeah, that's the one. Rochi, I love Eckel, but I don't personally have any issues with you, but I'm not buying that. I'm not buying you didn't enjoy the fucking everyone knowing you, buddy.
No, he did. But I will say that he's also a guy that can handle it. Like,
oh yeah.
he is a funny guy and he's a fun guy. And so people really enjoyed meeting him. And all the sort of quirky stuff that he does on stream and the jokes and whatnot that he makes, the wise ass comments, he does those in person as well. And so it's like, this is a cool guy. This is like, he was a lot of fun. Now, if it were me, I would dress him a little bit better, but that's just me.
Nah, I love people that just fucking dress how they like want to dress. I don't know. That's just me. I'll give Rochi that one.
I'd like to dress him up a little bit. Give him a nice shirt, nice pair of pants, some nice shoes. He would have killed it.
The accent is huge.
And with that, and with that accent,
women love that shit. American women love that shit.
He'd have been walking with chicks arm in arm.
They don't like the Boston accent.
It was amazing. There got to be people that like the Boston accent.
Oh, I'm sure they like it because they think it's funny, but it's not like an exotic accent. It's a fucking ugly ass accent.
And Rochi, if you know me, that shit. But again, it was once in a lifetime chance for Eckel to pay my way to Vegas. There you go. But didn't the fans pay for it? AB, I'd love to see Schmuel give Rochi a makeover. Yeah. I'd slap him in a ball cap and in one of those, what are those shirts that I wear that dry out easily? I call them rash shirts. I don't know what the fuck you guys call them. And some jeans. But I luckily brought 2 pairs of pants with me to Las Vegas because I got a drink spilled on one. And had to change, and I had others, and I had brought shorts because I assumed that that was what I was going to be wearing. But it was a little nippy. It was a little nippy, and the other thing too is men in shorts always look a little goofy. So
Am I there yet? I'm 47. Am I getting too old for I'm not one of those assholes that wears fucking shorts in like fucking November and shit. My cargo shorts and my hoodie.
oh wow, this
getting
was
there.
here's an interesting question that Shades Cal asks. Shades Cal, another beautiful woman. Um, does the pineapple feel like fans paid for something that Rochi did not return? That's a good question.
Does the pineapple? I don't know if I understand it. Does the pineapple feel that
And
something that Rochi did not return?
uh, hold on one second. I got to go to Sam Bibley, but first I want to go to Tub Sim 123, who's very emphatic here. It was Eccles' money from the fans. He could have kept it. Eckel used his own money to pay for his trip. Yes, that's 100% true. But I would think that the fans were donating it for the both of them to go, right? I mean, like maybe Rochi would have come up with half or something like that. But
Yeah, there were special streams and stuff like that. But even the so. Uh, I'm debating if I should say something or not. I'll get back to you.
all right. Well, Sam Bibley, I put him in a blazer for my thumbnail. Why no one gives me credit for that? Sam, when I die, I'm gonna have a black tie event just for Rochi, and we're gonna put him in a tux. We're gonna see how he looks like that. It'll be cool. But he's got to get a haircut. So and a shave. So we'll have to see if that works out.
All right.
I don't.
So just to say that, I'll say this. Just to say that, in my opinion, yes, obviously, without Rochi's presence, I don't think nearly as much. And I don't think Echo would deny this. Not as much money would have come in. It's people love Echo, people love Rochi. They each got their fans. Some people like both. But to me, it was Eccles' money. It's his channel. Like, I used to get half the super tips on the show I did with Eccles, and when the Vegas thing came up, that stopped, and that started going into the Vegas fund. So obviously, and I could care less. Eccles gave me some nice money at Christmas that I tried not to accept, but he gave it to me anyway. But yeah, it wasn't just the shows that they did together. It was shows that Eccles did with me, that he did with like Spurg Snake, that he did by himself. So all that went into it. It wasn't just, Eccles and Rochi. I'm sure that was a huge chunk of it, way more than half, but it wasn't all of it. So to me, yeah, it was Eccles' money, and he, wanted to show appreciation to his co-host who helped him start it, and the whole thing, and take him on a trip. And I don't know what the fuck happened after that, but
I got it. I wasn't aware of all that other stuff, but I think the reality is, though, Nick, is that Rochi would not have been able to go unless it was paid for. And so that, that was the decision. That was the decision that was made. And I think that the best question asked is the one that Shades Cal asked, which is, was there anything that Eccles felt that Rochi didn't do for the fans that he should have done?
no, I don't think that's it at all. And Rochi, no, you don't owe me any money, dude. I know you're busting balls, but yeah, I was just trying to make the point. It wasn't just, the shit that they did together. It was all the money Eccles was making from the channel, including stuff where Rochi wasn't there. That's all.
Right. But the main show that Eccles does, right? The one that draws tell me if I'm wrong. The main show that Eccles does that draws the most attention, the most viewers, the most super chats and stuff, is the one he does with Rochi. correct?
He'd have to answer that. I don't know what makes the most, but I'm sure that's the flagship show, as they say. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
then what happens is that, they really are partners in that. And um the channel isn't the channel isn't what the channel would be without Rochi.
Yeah, and Heckle said that today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I didn't see it. So that's I should watch what Eccles said. But that's the thing. I look, man, I don't know. I'm surprised. I had no idea that there was anything going on between them. And I'm bummed. I'm bummed about it because I enjoy their show, right? And their show is the one that I watch. I have to be honest, I don't watch it live because of its time, but I download it and I watch it during the week. And it's one of those shows that I'm on the train laughing like a mental patient sitting there by myself doing it. Speaking of the beautiful shades, Cal, Nick, did the pineapple tell you he was going to stop paying you and put all your money into a trip you were not going to?
Look, the pineapple didn't have to pay me to begin with. I told them that. I didn't like none of that. People didn't come to see me. So, like, he started paying me when I started, like, uh, I think I did bring a few people to the show, whatever, but not many, But he didn't have to. Number two, he offered to help me with if I wanted to go to Vegas. He offered to help me too with the hotels and stuff, and somebody else generously offered to help me, and I didn't accept the offer. So, trust me, I got a bunch of money at Christmas, and I was offered to go on the trip too if I wanted. So. I can't, thank Eckel enough for that, and the other person.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, this is. I guess this is all the stuff that's going to come out in the wash. I'm gonna go. They're gonna do one down and then go back up. Gav House, Schmuel, why would you or your mods ban me? Never said anything untoward. You're not banned.
Untoward.
I don't think that you've ever been banned. We've banned very few people here. I think I have, other than like just spammers, right? Like people that we don't know who just spam. The only two people that I think that I have banned on here are Ava and Chow. That's it. Those are the only two. But there we go. And there was one other one that I wanted to read. So Gav House, you're obviously not banned because you're in the chat. But if you email me at Buckman@BuckmanPod, I'll double check. There was a point where Cigarette Jones left and Final Boss came in, and there might have been something in there. Apparently, Stealth got banned, so I had to unban him. I know what I wanted to read. Big W13. I couldn't sleep last night.
Bullshit! You're the head of the Tired verse. What do you mean you can't fucking sleep? Big Dub.
He apparently was very upset at being a life form. Does anybody know who won the life form thing?
I've never watched that show. I think I was one, if not I'm one, but yeah, I never watched it.
I think that's the problem is I don't think anybody really watched it. And the only part we watched today was where Dan was making up, and Chow were making up stories about Final Boss and W. So we saw that, but I'm laughing because no one seems to know. I don't think anybody lasted long enough to get to the end of it. So
Yeah, it's just not my thing. I'm more into the real stuff.
Nick has said that to me before he was getting paid, by the way. Nick has been nice with the fruit.
I don't know what that means, but
I don't know.
look, here's the other thing, and that's not none of it was a secret. Like I remember, Eckle would always be a joke, like, "Hey, if you don't want Nick to get any money, send super chat instead of super tip." Blah blah blah. And then like later on when the whole Vegas thing started, it was like, "Hey, if you want like that all switched." And like I said, I didn't even deserve any money. I did it as for fun. I only brought it up just to say that it's Eccles' money, and he was distributed it into me at Christmas time, me at other times, Rochi for the trip. That's all. I think it's a nice thing to do.
Seems like a nice thing to do to me.
Oh, Rochi, yeah, I did say, yeah, I don't. That's right. I did say I don't want money. I don't. I didn't look. I think Rochi and I have this much in common. Where, I mean, obviously Rochi's much more dynamic, or whatever the word you want to use. I'm some fucking idiot on my fucking couch that does it for fun. I don't. I've had a few people like, dude, get super tip this and that. I'm like, I don't do enough work to deserve any money, so I didn't want it. That's all.
I will say, when I hear people say that, I will say to them, do you realize what you're compared to? Right? Like you say you don't do any work, or whatever. We're talking about, there are people who get super tip or have super tip, not that they ever get any, but they don't do a squat. Soup Party 67 minutes ago for $3. Apologize to NJ Ranger. I think he's referring to Wednesday night. And Soup Party, you were late to the party. I've already apologized to one NJ Ranger. So there. Because we went live during NJ Ranger's show, Husey and I. But
yeah, and you went live during the Pineapple Show today too. You're just fucking everybody over, Buckman.
I'm an asshole. I couldn't go last night, and then I went today, and I really tried to avoid. I didn't realize the Pineapple was going live, and then then Levy went live. Levy was going live, and then I was going to go live at I think 2. Then I moved it to 2:30 to try to avoid Levy. And then clients came in, and I think it was after 3 when I got on. And the first 15 minutes was dead air, which I've clipped out, people, so you won't see that. So yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. And there we go. But Latanya Vegas is saying hello to Genta. I will say, when we were talking about pictures earlier, the one selfie that I made sure that I got was with Latanya and Andrea. Sorry. But I made sure I got a picture with the two ladies. That was like my white whale of pictures, and I got it, and I have it, and I'm very happy.
Oh, now they're ladies, Buckman.
That I got it. They've always been ladies.
Well, not when. Never mind.
Oh, I got you. Well, we were talking about a specific body part, and but there, there we go. Let me drop down because I'm way the fuck behind with these chats. Yes, Latanya Vegas, it gave Granny the night of his life.
The time of my life.
100%. We're missing a lot of these Rochi things here, but Shock, no, he didn't. I'd call him out for his lies again. Watch Rocco tomorrow, then call me a liar.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to be on with the Pina. And so there we go. Serenity Now, because Serenity Now, it's just a Jesus peanut butter. They dragging this out. Oh, God. Oh, God.
You know what? I just thought of something. Granny can get a second one in now, because if he was limp the first time, maybe they make him take a Viagra the second time. So he's really got to go in there, and he can make another $8,000. That's how you can milk this fucking thing.
my personal opinion, maybe we get Dr. Steve to render an opinion, but my personal opinion is all the Viagra in the world ain't gonna get that thing up. But hey, that's just me. And but we got Tommy Jordan in the chat. Latanya Vegas. And Tommy, what do you call it? I hope you made it back safe and sound. And I would want to talk when I see you. I'm going to ask you if you sniped my wife on purpose, and I'm also going to ask you what it was like to climb the sphere, because I heard you did that yesterday. So there we go.
Tommy, the answer to the first question is no.
Why can't y'all separate like man? Young old vibes. I'm going to suggest that in 2026, this is the way men separate. But I will say this: I've said this to everybody that's asked any questions to me when they're starting this. My considered opinion is, it really is a business. Whether or not there's money and all that, there's egos and all that shit involved, and the one thing that always happens when you get together in any kind of partnership is you don't figure out how to separate. And that's what creates a problem. So there's that. And let's just say, Big W. I know Jenna went on to Buddy East Coast the other night to see if I could broker a peace deal. No dice.
Yeah,
all right.
Shocker. You couldn't fucking do something, Big W. Jesus.
Then hormones was a raging. I heard something. I heard something when we were watching that show today. All right, so we should start wrapping it up. Let me ask you a couple of questions first, which is let's say it's now, what is it, April? I don't know, October. Joey C still going to be running for president or not?
Oh. You know what? I think because everyone doesn't think he is, I think he's gonna make it to the end of the year. 2027 is another story. I think at some point in 2027, it starts getting a little closer to needing all these signatures and all this. He'll probably step out.
Got it. I what do you call it? I don't know why anyone's taking him seriously at all, and I don't know why anyone's not telling him to stop. But
he got mad at me when I said I wasn't taking him seriously anymore. He got upset. Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion. Bo Beats Black Sheep Schmuel. Do you think Rochi and Eckel are just really different personality types, which became more evident when in person? I think that's what I said earlier on. You're just two different guys. But when I say that, two different personality types that don't get along can also understand what they do when they're together, so they can do something outside of that. So it's like in this particular case, you could say that, Eckel is a different personality than Rochi, and but they understand together on that show. They are great together, and so when they go to a place like this, you just each do what you do, and then you come back and you do the show. But I think sometimes that can be hard, particularly if one person feels offended by it. So
yeah, it's like I guess I'm kind of an odd duck. I always liked hanging out with people my whole life who were different than me. Like my friend group in fucking high school, like we were all fucking different. I get bored if I hang out with someone that's too. Obviously, some similarities are good. Like, if you like the same band, you go to a concert together. You like the same fucking ball team, you go to the game together. But personality type, I always liked hanging out with people different than me. But obviously, some shit clashes, I guess.
Yeah, always been the different personality type, and I don't have any friends from high school and stuff. I went to a different high school than everyone else, and I moved out of home, um, 16, 17. I mean, 17 years old. I was already on a plane to Lackland Air Force Base in Texas for basic training. So it was like the day after school ended, and had a rather fucked up childhood. So. There was that. And my when I met my wife and she was meeting my friends and she was like, "Don't you have any normal friends?" And I'm like, "No.
Yeah.
No. They're all everybody I hang around with is unusual." And I and I enjoy it. I like the unusuality of it. Although I do have one friend now who's actually pissed off at me for the first time in years. But which is very surprising because he was always the calmest of the group. But there we go. Gentle Loves, I still think Latanya should have gotten half of that money. This never crossed my mind, Genta, until you just said that. But I'm wondering, I hope she was paid for her professional services. At least got her.
She got 2,000.
Her usual. Oh, she got 2,000.
Yeah. So Granny said he would do it for 10. They ponied up to 10, I guess, and Granny got 8, and she got 2.
Two's a decent number.
Yeah.
Definitely. So yep. So Genta, she did get a decent sum. A decent sum. All right. I asked you about Joey and what you thought he would be in there. What are you thinking about the Dan and John stuff? Is it a troll? Is he going to wind up fucking over John? How do you feel about that?
You know what? I don't think Dan's gonna fuck John over. Like I've said this before. I don't think it's. I guess it's not a troll in the traditional sense. Dan is a contrarian. He likes being the villain. He likes doing the opposite. So I think that's what he's doing. I don't think he has some big payoff. I don't think he plans on fucking John over. Is he telling John what he wants to hear? Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? I mean, what I found most interesting about that interaction between the three of them last night is that I don't know what's true and what's not in that that whole forum Dan was involved in. But just what I found so interesting is John doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want it to be like, it just showed his narcissism. It's like, yeah, but did those 60 people do a show on this guy every day? Did they do, like, everything's about him and what happens to him, and God forbid anything happen. Like when he's like, Dan didn't do anything to me, Ava. It's like, I mean, is that the bar now? Like, well, yeah, they grape somebody, but they didn't grape me. I know it's an extreme thing, but it's like, if it doesn't happen to him, he doesn't care. And again, I don't know what Dan did anything. I have no fucking idea about that whole thing. I mean, I've seen some of the clips or whatever, but I don't know who did what. But just the fact that John doesn't, whatever happened, he doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want it to be true because it didn't happen to him. So fuck it. And I found that fascinating. Like, his narcissism is off the fucking charts.
Look, man, I got the distinct impression that what Ava was saying to him is, John, what these guys did to Patrick Tomlinson is what is being done to you. And she was trying to point out that if nothing else, he should be careful with this guy Dan, and John didn't get it.
Yeah, no, I even messaged Ava this today. I told her I thought that's the Ava that I know, like that's the Ava that I love talking politics with and whatever. It's like, I thought she did a great job of trying to like talk to John, or at least having like a moral code, just because like. It's kind of like John and me. Like I said, I never did to him what he did to me because it's wrong. I'm just not gonna do it. And that's the shit I was trying to say. Like, wrong is wrong, you know. And just
Yeah,
John didn't want to hear it.
it's one of the first times I've seen Ava in an argument where she stayed on course
Yeah, big time. She did great.
and followed through. Because I know when she's argued with May, um, the minute it gets a little heated, she starts with, "You're old. You should be wearing diapers. You're a boomer. You're stupid. You destroyed you know, just like all this sort of fucking out there bullshit." Uh, I guess dementia always gets thrown in. So it was a good job, and I will say, I did watch it and I went, "Ava making sense." That was unusual. So you know,
Yeah, that's the Albert I know it's probably not known, but like I think like the political stream I do Liquid Cryptid, we were like the second people to ever have her on. So I've been talking with Ava for a long time. And that's the that's the Ava I've met. That's the Ava I had on all the time, not the stuttering John, you know. And she's a huge Stern fan, so I think John she puts the blinders on for John. She didn't have the blinders on last night. It was nice.
yeah. I don't think she puts the blinders on. Well, look, I don't think she puts the blinders on for John. Um, I've always felt that it was, um, she likes attention, really likes attention, and that was the place that she was going to get the most attention. And and of course it started when Shuli stopped like using her that much, and it wasn't evil, it wasn't whatever, they just didn't have her on as much. And from what I understand, there was a lot of I'm available, and that didn't get brought in. But I also felt like part of it, the way she was acting towards John, um, she was degrading herself uh,
Hmm.
a bit, saying things like, "Oh, you're a great father. Um, you're this, because the objective evidence is the opposite. So you're having to ignore all of that, to suck up to John, to just try to be a scumbag to Shuli, or to just try to get attention."
Yeah, this is why I have trouble in the DV. Like I wouldn't say I wouldn't even mention John's father. Like I don't feel comfortable with that because yeah, I have my guesses, but it's like I don't really know. But I do want to say this about you saying Ava wants attention. I will say she wasn't when I first approached her about coming on. She was very like nervous and self conscious about the whole thing. And I was like, oh my God, God, like no one's going to be watching, especially back then. We just started the fucking stream. Like, don't worry. And like, she was like, she used to have to like pump self up just to go on like streams. Like she was like nervous, you know? Like I remember like one time she's like, yeah, I don't want to, I think I'll be there, but I don't want to commit in case I back out, whatever. So I don't know if it's attention. I mean, maybe it's attention that she started liking or whatever, but I don't think that was originally it, if that's the case, because she
Well, I
wasn't
don't.
like that. But
I think by the time John came around, that was it. And I think in the beginning, I was just saying about my experience early on, very nervous, very reticent to do things, and then you just become a cocky dick after a while, This is probably one of the funniest chats you will see. Latanya Vegas, LOL. I was giggling the whole time, waiting for the most disappointing but most profitable pump of my
oh
life.
my God.
Very good, Latanya. Very good. And that's quite amazing. Do you think that John has anything to worry about from Dan, or that he should keep an eye out, or anything like that? Or are you like, you just think he likes playing this bad guy?
Yeah, I think he likes. I mean, obviously, I don't know for sure, but to me, it's not like when Quadfather was trolling John. It was the most obvious fucking thing that something was coming at the fucking end, whatever the fuck it was. Blah blah blah. But Dan, I'm not convinced that he's gonna like do John dirty. Like I said, I more think he likes being the contrarian. He likes being the heel. So it's he like to me. I forget who I was watching. Somebody tried saying that Dan looked worried. I forget who I was watching during that whole thing. That John was gonna catch on. I think he was just. I don't think he was worried. I think, like, if anything, he was. If John figures it out, then this. I'm having fun doing this, and this fucking bit's over. But yeah, I'm not convinced that he's gonna like do John super dirty at the end or anything. I don't know how it's gonna end, but I think he's just enjoying the ride.
I disagree with you about that incident. He looked to me like he was sweating underneath
Maybe
his
you're the one I heard say that. I can't remember
his
who I heard say
his
that.
hat,
Yeah.
glasses, and shoulderless hoodie. Um, and you could see that as John was less getting it, he had visible signs of relief. You know, and look, it's opinion. It's not.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I know what you're saying.
it's not fact. And I have to say that looking back at that Patrick Tomlinson stuff, these guys really fucked with that guy, and there were at least 1,000 people involved, and the 60 that they chose were the 60 most egregious. And out of that 60, almost all of them just walked away. They just, like, this was not worth um, continuing and being involved in. And the other thing that I want to keep repeating is they did not win. Patrick Tomlinson ran out of money. The place that was funding him said, we don't have any more money. He could not afford to continue. And he withdrew the suit. And so there wasn't a judgment. It was court costs because he did withdraw the suit, which I think is very different. So there was never a determination made of whether it was right or wrong. But I will say that this funder got involved because they thought that this shit was so egregious, and they thought that it was the internet, like that this stuff needed to be stopped, and that's why they got involved in the first place.
Yeah, obviously, like I'll have to look more into it. I've seen clips. I think Kaylee covered it or WATP.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what I saw.
Kaylee
but
did, yeah.
And so I've seen clips of it. I haven't looked into it at all. But from if the shit's true that Kaylee's saying, that was done to that guy is fucking awful by those people.
Yeah.
Just for saying you don't think fucking what's his face is funny.
Right. And the thing about Kaylee is that whenever she does stuff like that, she backs it up with the data and or brings the receipts, as Gino likes to say. And you can look those things up and you can see what happened to this guy. And his house was swatted, his furniture was stolen. They went after him, after the places that he was known to frequent, to create problems for him when he went in there. They really fucked with this guy. And,
I don't get it. We're supposed to be adults. Like, what the fuck? I don't get it.
Right. And that's the part of it that bothers me is that, Dan sits there and he's like well, I won, and I'm like, well, you didn't lose, but, and you might have won in the grand scheme of things, but, you lost a lot more. And, and no one except John will ever trust you again. And I even last year, I think it was last year, could have been the year before, there was shit coming up with Jackie Singh, who was the old, she was a speechwriter or not press secretary, whatever, but something with the Clinton administration. And this guy just seems, wherever he goes, he seems to get into trouble. And he's also the guy that went down to Tampa a year ago or so and took pictures of where Chad lives. I said Chad's house, and people were joking, but took pictures of Chad's apartment. Um, uh, the dude's it's doxing. It's fucking creepy. You know, that's the thing that's creepy. It's when people are doing that shit. That's when it gets out of. I make fun of me all you want, but when you start like trying to get my family involved or um, exposing my house and all that other shit, that's creepy. My thing with him where I became like a little creeped out was one night I was in my dining room at the beach house and my virtual green screen dropped for a minute. And I mean, it was literally less than a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And within 20 minutes, Dan had a picture of my kitchen up on the internet and commenting about how small my kitchen was and all of this other stuff. Now, I didn't give a fuck about the size of my kitchen. And it's also a second kitchen, but neither here nor there. But the deal was, it felt like an invasion, right? Like a personal invasion, and which I guess was the intention, right? And but my response to it is knowing that the guy's a piece of shit. So there we go.
Yeah, I don't get why people do that shit. Like even like people that go after Dan, I never say shit because I think people go too far sometimes with some of the shit they do. Um, I never involve family, never involve personal shit. Like stick to whatever's on the fucking screen, man. Just fucking we suck. You blow. You're fucking terrible at this. All that shit. Just stick to that stuff. Don't get in
Yeah.
people's fucking personal lives.
Roy Cohn Esquire, $2 Dan, has been a hardcore internet troll for years. Sad. Yeah, the question that I ask is, when does someone cross over the line from being an internet troll to being a creep? Right? Like it's creepy, it's stalkery. It's crazy. Now I'm a guy, not a big deal, but I could imagine if I was a woman, it could be terrifying.
And you got to be careful. Like one time, I'm not saying damn, I'm saying people in general. Like you do this to the wrong fucking person, they might go fucking crazy. You do it to someone that's not stable, God knows what they'll fucking do.
Or do it to a guy like Kumia, because I will tell you that hell hath no fury like an old man with time and money. Like if you've got a guy who's got plenty of time, right, and the wherewithal to do shit, they can make your life a living fucking hell. And I've seen it happen, and I think it could. Dan went by Chad's house and took a picture of his front door. Yeah, it's a little fucking creepy. But then again, Chad's a fucking idiot. Like, in a year later, he's buddy with him, right? And Dan was doing the same stuff with Chad that he's been doing with John. So there you go. But I don't know, man. My thing is this is a person I just want to stay away from. Like, go do what you want to do or whatever. But I have said that I won't stream with him. He said it first, and I'm just holding him to it.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll move on, and I expect that one day he will dox me. The good news for me is that my life is like paint drying. So the worst part about getting doxxed is you are going to find out that I am the most boring person on the planet. Dan's got an island with 20 drawers and a marble top, all kitchen accessories, brand new, off the line, 2027. Shit you can't get unless you Dan. But what he does not have is somebody to come and shovel his snow. He had to shovel his own. So there's that. and TJ Holly, right? As long as you can make a good sandwich, one kitchen is enough. Yeah, they're in separate places, mine and Big W. Yep. Yeah, he was like, and that was the thing. Like he brought Big W's family up last night and was making comments about Big W's family, his kids, things that he couldn't, that he lies. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. And it's like, I know W. I've known W for a while, and I just know from talking to him that this stuff is not like it's not real. They're lies, and he lies, and Chow sits there and pushes the lie, and it's just uh, it's just bullshit, and But hey, man, if these are the guys you want to be friends with, you know, you lie down with dogs, you're gonna get up with fleas. It just is the way it is, you know. So with that, I think we should wrap, my friend Nick. I'm gonna let you go. Anything else? And when can we see you?
Uh, I guess Sunday night on at OG Mumbling Nick on YouTube. I'll be live with Liquid Cryptid and probably some guests. We'll be doing our 50th dabbling in politics, so should be a decent time, I guess, if anyone's interested.
Cool. I am 100% interested in debating with one Joey C.
C.
I will donate $100 to disabled American veterans should it happen. And if you can put it together,
I'll talk to Joey. I'll see what I can do.
I'm up for it. I know he cares about the veterans, and I'm willing to help them in that way. So cool. All right. And guys, hang out. I'm going to finish up with the chat and get the hell out of here. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Buckman.
Very cool, Nick. Bye. All right. It is Schmuel, and I do need to leave and go home, which I will be doing in a minute. Thank you guys for being on here. Thanks for the super tips, super chats, in stuff. And we hit 1,000 subs and over the last couple of days. And I really got to thank you for that, because it's something that a year ago when I started this, I would never have imagined that it was going to happen. And so very, very cool. And I like your buffalo wings with blue cheese. So here's that. And it was it's been an amazing run, and I'll probably be dead by the end of the year. So thank you for having the last of my years be as much fun. The fun of going to Hackamania was great. DabbleCon was great. The other Hackamanias were great. So I'm really looking forward to DabbleCon 2. I anticipate no fact, just Schmuel guessing, that the lawsuit will end soon enough, because I had forgotten something, which I'll talk about in just 1 second. But I think it'll end, and once it ends, I think we DabbleCon 2, the 3, I think will be scheduled. I what I had forgotten about, and what I keep thinking about, in New York, when there's an anti-slap motion, the plaintiff, right? So the plaintiff is the person that files the lawsuit to defend, you know that, right? So in these kinds of lawsuits, the defendant can file this anti-slap motion, and the judge could award costs to the defendant. Oftentimes that comes at the end of a jury trial. In other cases, New York law anticipates that big people that are trying to shut you the fuck up will file these lawsuits to try to bankrupt you and then withdraw the lawsuit. And what happens in New York is the lawsuit can be withdrawn, but the slap motion stays alive. So, I, in my head, I was thinking, well, the deal is this slap motion is going to stay alive, and this Carl and Schmuel, they don't want to pay all these legal fees, and so they want, you know, they want John to pay them because he's the one that filed the lawsuit. I forgot about the 32 grand that's sitting out there in this GoFundMe. So if that 32,000 is out there, and if that $32,000 would cover these expenses, I would imagine that it would be in everybody's best interest to just let it go and use that money to pay whatever the legal expenses were on the defendant's side. And they've been pretty heavy because of the way the plaintiffs have dealt in this case. I think there's been 72 at least actions in court. Plus you had the change of venue. You had a lot of stuff. And every time you have that stuff, the defense lawyer has to answer it and they get paid. So hopefully the 32 will be there. And no friend of the show, they are not going to give Gino the balance to help pay off American Express. That ain't gonna happen. And I think they're and peanut butter. How much would we have to raise to get Schmuel to give Latanya the high buck one? The truth of the matter is that as long as I am married and married to the woman that I am married to, no amount of money. So there's that. And I can say that today. I hate to admit it because it makes me seem soft, but I'm very much in love. And I I would not want to do it. What if Cookie would okay it? It wouldn't happen. It's not going to happen. And I wouldn't ask her because I wouldn't. And I got to tell you that these things never go well. And one of my things about like Rochi and Eckel is like if this is a work, these kinds of works don't work out, because there's too much bullshit that goes on while you're trying to maintain the work. And you ever have one of those things where you say, well, you tell this person that you don't like me, blah, blah, blah. And then, we'll find out. And then you always wind up, the person that gets involved, the fucking relationships always fall apart. So, there we go. You don't allow your wife poor behavior over Genesis. Yeah, it didn't work out too well for Hagar and Ishmael. Look at what that fucking wrought on the planet. So smells of weak Rochi work. I gotta say, Rochi is not. Rochi doesn't strike me as a work guy. I think he would do things to have fun. Like I think that he and Husey, when they did the stream with me at Hackamania, were gonna fuck with me, and but I was aware of it and like threw them a curveball that got them, and we all had a good laugh, and we moved on, and so it was a lot of fun. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I don't think that we will be up this weekend. It's possible, but I doubt it. So I will definitely, but I will see you all Tuesday 100%. And it's possible that it may be before. But thank you all for being here. Great audience. And I know that we were beat by Karmic, but such is the way life is. I can't be doing show tunes and being an asshole, no matter how many people that that would bring. So good night, kids, and everybody have fun.